All right, so today we're going to be talking about mindset and DMO. And it gets a little bit into the basics of network marketing, right? And I think it's always good to go back to the basics. I think it's good to stay at the basics. I think it's good to remember the simplicities of building. Remember just daily tasks. I think a lot of times we search for so much. We search for tools. We search for what strategies. We search for what's going to be easiest, what's going to build the biggest, what's going to, what's going to make me that top rank. And we just mess it up. We mess our days up. We bring in so much minutia into our day that we don't even get focused and just go back to what are the basics? What are the basics of having the mindset of a successful network marketer and knowing the DMO of what that looks like? So we're talking about mastering mindset and daily operations for success. So we're going to go through a few of these, and then on the next screen, Paul's going to come in and help me with the DMO side of things. So the first thing, of course, coming in, we talk, a lot of this is going to be a lot of stuff I learned from Doug too. I realized as I was preparing the training how much, again, the mentee absorbs from the mentor because his words just come out of my mouth continually. So that's what you'll probably hear repetitive things that he said before. Hello, Victor, welcome. So in, preparing this, the first thing that we want to talk about and the first thing that we need to work on as we come into network marketing is where is your mindset at? And that's the thing that most people, if you talk to them and they talk about it being a personal development business, that's the first thing you have to work on. You come in, you're super excited, you're, ready to build, but we all know that mindset and getting into that proper mindset all the time, that's the trick. And that's the key to our success, right? Where is your mind at? If you have a great leader, if you have a great trainer, every time I talk to Doug, how are you doing? It isn't how's business, how many people did you enroll? It's how's your mind doing? Where are you at mentally? How has the week been? Where are you seeing the team building? Where are you seeing your struggles, your successes, all of that? So the first thing when and this is also something to take notes for as you're bringing in new people and knowing the struggles that they're going to have for yourself. There's a lot of leaders on here, so you may have already overcome a lot of these mindset issues, but I honestly think even for myself in writing this, we all work on these every single day, no matter how many years you've been in. Maybe it's your first day, maybe it's your 10th year. It doesn't matter. We're all working on this on a daily basis because mindset is something where those negative thoughts tend to consume our time and want to take over. So first of all, it's embracing rejection as a stepping stone. And I heard that from Dr. Doug years and years ago. It was the first time I ever heard it, and I'm sure you've heard it as well, where you picture failure on one side and success on the other, right? You picture that you're either going to fail or you're going to succeed. But he explained it as in order to reach that success, you need that stepping stone of failure. You need that stepping stone of rejection. Embracing rejection and knowing that every single no is a paycheck. If you actually, I remember hearing one of the leaders that I worked with years ago, he kept track of all of his no's. So that when he started making a great paycheck in network marketing, he was able to calculate, his mind kind of went that way, and he reverse engineered all of his no's into how much did each no make him. So if you actually see a no as dollars in your bank account and know that there's a yes sitting on the other side of that no somewhere, maybe it's going to take you, I think Doug shared that he got 70 some no's before he ever heard a yes. And this is Doug Firebaugh we're talking about, right? Knowing that rejection is just a natural process. Embracing it instead of rejecting it, right? Instead of rejecting rejection, embrace it. Know that it's going to happen. Be okay with it. Know that especially as your new people come in, or if you're new to this, or maybe you're jumping back in, knowing that that rejection isn't going to feel good. You're going to have to learn through it. You're going to have to, find out what you did wrong, go back and look at the conversation, take it to your leader, take it to your mentor and say, these are the conversations I'm having, knowing that's going to happen. And also setting up your new people for that expectation of not thinking, oh, they're going to come in and it's going to be fun and it's going to be easy. There's going to be some rejection. People are going to say no that you didn't expect to say no. You're going to get rejection from your family, your friends, people that you expect to cheerlead you and lift you up and support you. They're not. So be ready for that. Cultivating an abundant mindset is huge. Knowing that you deserve more. being open to challenging situations, being open to things that are going to grow you and build you, knowing that there's an abundance of success out there, that we each deserve it, that you are deserving of success. That even though we tend to compare and we see somebody succeeding in our company or in the profession and we want that and we crave it and why don't I have it? Knowing that the abundance is there for you. The abundance is there for you to celebrate the wins of the people who are winning right now. You get to attract success with that attitude. When you come from an abundant, every time that you start to think of lack or you start to think, why am I not having that success, or why am I not there yet, or how do I have what that person has? When you start to bless those people in their success, you attract the success to yourself, because you're saying that I bless them in the success that they're having. I celebrate them in the success that they're having. I can't wait to have that success as well. And just knowing that that is open for you there. If you come into it with a very negative, a very scarce, competitive mindset where you're always competing or feeling like, the market is saturated maybe in what you're doing, or why am I knocking on doors and nobody's answering and nobody's really, giving me the feedback and the answers that I want. When you start to get negative about that, you actually repel the success that you're looking for. So definitely cultivate that abundant mindset. Work on that with your team as well. Last week, we talked about leadership and what that looks like for your team. Make sure your team is staying in that mindset as well. Everybody goes into the funk. We all have those funky times, but the more that you're positive about the abundance and about, guys, look at this great thing that we have. Look at the success that so-and-so is having. How do we all create that success together? Overcome the fear of selling. Now, we like to say, oh, we're a sharing profession. We just share. I think we sell. We are salespeople. We build sales teams. We are no different. I talk to a lot of people who sell medical devices and who do like hospital sales and stuff like that. I did that for a couple of years where I was working with people in that. They are salespeople. They don't have a fear of saying that's what they do. And that's who we are as well. We are building our sales teams. We benefit from our sales volume. We benefit from our team's volume. Don't have a fear of thinking of yourself as a salesperson, but overcoming that is your understanding that what you are selling is value and benefits. You're not out there saying, okay, I've got this product. I need to sell this product. It's going to make me $50 in commission. Okay. If I sell 10 this week, then, okay, I'm going to have $500. That's not what you're doing. You're talking to people and selling the value. Hey, Whitney, what if I could give you a product that helps you to look in the mirror in 30 days and you actually feel like you look younger? Hey, Whitney, what if I had a product that helps you to sleep better? How would it feel to wake up in the morning and feel refreshed, feel like you actually got a night's sleep? How would that feel? Talking to Whitney, understanding her needs, giving her the value and the benefits. I learned early on, some of us, well, not myself, I'm not an ingredient person. I'm just not that person, but some people are. Some people like to know every single ingredient that's in every single product. And it's like, okay, well, let's go with my first product because that company's not even in business anymore. So I can use that as an example, but they were a mangosteen vitamin shot. So people would talk about this mangosteen and how somebody goes out into the jungle and picks this thing and it's just rare and it's organic in the processing and blah, blah, blah. And I would just sit there and go, I don't want to have to share that. I don't want to have to tell people that there's some guy walking around in the jungle picking mangosteens and that's why we feel better. You're selling the benefit. The benefits for me of that product was immediate energy. It was feeling great. It was seeing weight come off. It was getting my energy back as a new mom. It made me excited and I just got to take a shot. It took me 30 seconds a day at most, right? That was the value and benefit. So learn your product's value and benefits. Don't be an overseller of what's inside. Don't think you need to be that person that walks in somewhere or talks to somebody and you need to know the entire pamphlet. That's what our tools are for. So if you come across somebody who wants to know all the ingredients, all I say is, it's great that you're an ingredients person. Honestly, I'm not. So I have something I'm going to send to you. It tells you everything about the product. So you can thoroughly understand it way better than I could ever explain it to you. Then visualization and goal manifestation. This is huge. And I use the word manifestation. I used to avoid that word because I thought it was new agey, university. Like you guys know I'm a faith person. The word manifest is in the Bible. God wants us manifesting. He wants us visualizing. He gave us our mind. He gave us our words. He gave us the ability to declare what we can accomplish in this life. And so use that. Spend some time. I'm going to show you in the DMO how you can spend just a few minutes a day visualizing the picture of what you want to accomplish, and not just visualizing, what kind of money would that be, and what does my team look like, and how much better would I feel? What are you actually doing on a daily basis? What does accomplishing that goal actually allow you to do? Who would you be right now if you already had that, and start acting that way? Goal manifestation isn't just writing down, okay, in 3 months, I want to be at this rank and I'm going to be a superstar, blue diamond, and this is what I'm going to have. What does it actually feel like when you're writing those goals? Go back to them daily and be like, who would I be if this is who I was? And start acting that way. Start deciding through your day, would this choice that I'm making right now to possibly procrastinate, or possibly feel bad about yourself, or possibly feel like you haven't accomplished anything that day, would you feel that way if you were a superstar blue diamond? Would you be doing that to yourself? Would you feel that way? So start to actually identify with that person. I love that. Just thinking about your higher self and what that person would be doing, that person who's accomplished those things. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, what would I do and what would I be doing if I was that person? It's time you spend on yourself. It's time you spend writing out those goals and making sure that your 3. I love to do a 3-month, I love to do a 6-month, and I love to do a 1-year and a 5-year. I love to know what my goals are for each of those different times in life, and spend some time visualizing those different things. And also, gratitude is huge in that part. When you're spending your time in visualization and goal manifestation, being grateful for what you have right now. We tend to live in a reality of negativity. We tend to live in a reality of lack, or I wish I had, or if I had. And it was a sermon that I was watching, I think it was Elevation Church, and Stephen Furtick said, what would you lose if you lost everything that you have right now? And the answer is everything. I'd lose everything. So what do you have right now? You have everything. So no matter where you're at, no matter what the struggle is, no matter what you wish you were accomplishing, no matter how much you're beating yourself up for maybe not hitting some goals, you have everything right now. So every single day, be grateful for the everything that you have right now, that if you lost, you would lose everything. Consistency and discipline is huge. When I first came into this profession and became a work from home mom, I was jumping at every squirrel there was. I was doing a blog. I was doing video blogging. I was, doing training calls. I was doing everything but creating success in my network marketing company. I was doing everything but prospecting and recruiting. We tend to do all of the things except for go after those things that we know are consistency and discipline, because we like to avoid consistency and discipline. It's not fun. It's not fun to be boring. Paul and I talk about this in some of our training calls. The success part of network marketing is actually really boring, because it's about being consistent and disciplined. It's about these very simple things we're going to show you on this next screen that Paul's going to talk about. It's about being boring. It's not fun. It's fun to build and see success, but the actual discipline of building and seeing success, it's not that, I don't want to use the word of it's just not that fun. So absolutely being consistent, knowing what strategies keep you motivated. We're going to talk about how you can do this. And I put Paul 60 minutes a day, and you'll see why in the next screen here. But breaking it down to times that you can commit to working. Know what keeps you motivated. Maybe if you do a half an hour of work and you get up and you maybe go outside for a walk, maybe go sit and pat your dog. Maybe, you go and you play pickleball like Donna, go and have an hour pickleball game because you were consistent and you were disciplined in your business. Have rewards for yourself. Know what keeps you motivated. For me as a new mom, it was, okay, I need to get really consistent and disciplined in my time, Monday to Friday, or say it's Tuesday to Saturday, whatever it is for you that you work, and then allow time with my family where I say, no, there's no work. So that was a reward for me to be able to say to them, guess what? Mom doesn't have to work today. Yay. That's exciting, right? That was exciting for them, especially as little kids, to know that that was a reward for them. And that allows them to also be a part of my visualization and goal manifestation, because if they knew that I was giving them specific time, they respected my time that I was giving to the business. So we're going to go into DMO here. Now I put 60 minutes. Paul's going to talk on the 5/5 because we use this on our team, and we adopted this from Dr. Doug. If you heard him, I think it was a Clubhouse call, and I know Paul took some coaching with Doug as well. And I know Dr. Doug talked about this on a Clubhouse call that we had done back, I think it's almost 2 years ago now. But it was perfect. And so many people were like, what was that 5/5? What was that 5/5 you talked about, Dr. Doug? How can I do this in 30 minutes a day? What are the 5 simple things? Because there is something so rewarding about having such a simple system to write down on a piece of paper, or maybe you're more advanced than me and you actually print it off on something and you check it off. Or maybe it's on your phone and you're checking it off. There's something so rewarding to know that you've done the 5 simple steps that are moving your business forward. So that even if you can't do more than that, even if you don't have more than the 30 minutes, you did what was required for you to be a successful network marketer. And that is huge. There's something that happens in your mindset that allows you to stay in that abundant mentality, because if you don't do these 5 simple steps, you're going to beat yourself up and, oh my gosh, now I got to do double tomorrow. And oh geez, why didn't I do that? And oh, what's wrong with me? And you start to beat yourself up. Your negative self-talk goes in there. And actually, I want to quickly mention, because I didn't mention it, one task I give you guys to do, or suggest that you do over this next week, is something that Dr. Doug had me do years ago, and he had trained our team on it. Keep a journal, a negative journal, and try to force yourself to write down every single negative self-talk that you have. And you will realize that over 90% of your day is spent talking to yourself negatively. And it is crazy when you start to see the way you talk to yourself and the way you beat yourself up. So making yourself write it down, and then taking the time at the end of the week to reverse all of that language and saying, okay, today I said to myself, wow, you're just really never going to succeed at this, are you? And turning that around to being like, I am so proud of you for working and doing as much as you can to succeed, and you are going to do amazing at this. Reversing that language, telling your brain that, no, I don't believe that. I'm reversing that into something that's positive. So that's something I forgot to mention when we were talking about the visualization there. So Paul's going to talk about the 5/5, and then the other 30 minutes, guys, can simply be spent on social content. We all know that, this is a social world. Most of us are building on social media. So, 10 minutes on social content, 10 minutes on team reach out. Maybe you have a team, maybe you don't. Get involved with your team, plug into what's in your groups, what's in the conversation, wherever you plug into your team. Make sure you're checking in. A person who checks in with their team and knows where everybody's at. Maybe there's an event coming up, maybe you're doing a blitz, whatever. Know what's going on with your team, offer motivation and support. And then, of course, personal development. That can be done in as little as 5 minutes a day. You can do the visualization and the goal manifestation in 5 minutes. You can spend time in prayer or meditation or whatever works for you. For me, I do what Peg suggested, which is the 2 chairs. So because I'm faith-based, I sit and I talk to God for a couple of minutes. And then for the other 3 minutes, I listen to him and I let him talk to me. So Paul, I'm going to pass it over to you guys. Paul Capozio, as you know, he gets to pop in here sometimes. He's been an incredible success in this industry with his first company. He's been in for a few years now, and just is an amazing trainer and leader, incredible motivator. And I love how he trains on the no nonsense, just get it done. These are the steps. Just go out and do it. And he gives his team such incredible support as well. So I'll pass it over to you, Paul.
Sure. Thank you, Angel. First of all, great job. I'm a huge disciple of Dr. Doug, and I know you are too. And it sees, I could feel him in the room right now, just because what we're doing, guys, it works. I know there's so much distraction out there of who should you train with, who should you coach with. Everybody seems to be a life coach today. But let me tell you, Doug's trained over 50. When I met Doug, he trained over, I think, 51 or 53 millionaires in network marketing. Well, guess what? I was able to add one more to that list because of those trainings. So I became a 7-figure earner with Dr. Doug by his training. So I will tell you that it works. I will tell you that it's really, really grassroots training, but it's really personalized. So when you come here, trust me, all of the stuff he's learned over the years, all of the stuff he's tested on people like Angel and myself, and that had real world results, even currently today. Guys, I didn't do this 10 years ago. I'm doing it right now. This is not, we're not talking about my career 10 years ago in network marketing, right? I haven't been in network marketing 10 years. So I love that Angel's talking about a DMO because so many of us just don't know what to do or how to do it. And I want to talk about 5/5 because I learned it with Dr. Doug. We actually even modified it a little bit to make it even more up to date. And there's different levels to it. And I hope to come back with Angel and give you really super 5/5. But let's do the basics, because here's why. I want you to honestly ask yourself a question. Do you have 5 people right now that you've been consistently talking to and working with that you can collect a decision from today? Right now, do you have? And if you've been in this industry for more than 6 months, I promise you, by the time you finish with this training, within 6 months from now, at any given time, you will have 5 people in your phone that you can call up on a single day and collect a decision from. Now, Angel talked about no. It's so funny. I had to speak in Orlando about a year or two ago, and I was training with Doug, and I said, hey, Doug, listen, I got to speak for about an hour. I got a whole bunch of content. We went through my content. He says, great, great stuff. I said, I just need one more thing. Give me like the exclamation point on the end of this. And his answer to me was no. And I'm like, Doug, really? And listen, personal training with Doug, I'm not saying he's more expensive than anyone else, because he's not, but it's not free, right? So I said, wait a second, no. And he goes, yes, I want you to train on no. And what he told me, and I still train on it to today, and it's one of my most popular trainings because it was one of Doug's, and Angel led to it before, about how no's build you. Yeses are going to build your organization. Yeses will build your team, but no's are going to build you as a leader. So we need to experience those no's, and 5/5 will get all of it done for you. So take a quick pen out, and I'm going to tell you this first step. I did this 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes at night, and then I gradually added more time as my success in network marketing grew. So the first thing we do is we try to connect or outreach 5 new people a day. Now, what does that mean? It could mean social media connections. It could be a Facebook friend, a LinkedIn connection, but you're not done until you get the response back where they accepted that friendship. So if you go with those standards and you reach for at least 5 people a day that you're going to make a brand new connection with, not a conversation, just absolutely, hey, can we be friends? Thank you for becoming my friend. The next step is try to have 5 new conversations a day. Now, you could say, I need to do step 1 first before step 2, but if you've been in this business for more than a week, you should be able to generate 5 conversations. I had a coaching call with Peg Tucker, I believe she's on the call right now, and we talked about what those conversations should be like. And many of you have a lot of struggles with, you want to get right to it. Oh, I got this great product, or you should join my team, or you know how many millionaires there are in my company? You need to develop rapport. Rapport is more critical than your product line, because people will do business with you only if they like you, know you, and trust you. So how are you going to get to that point if you don't talk about their dog? If you don't talk about the plate of mashed potatoes? Victor is famous for, Victor, I love Victor. And it's great to see you, Victor. He'll always put food pictures up constantly. He's got the appetite of Hercules. And yet that will create so much interest and so many conversations. Where's that restaurant? Oh, you're in New York City. Now you're over here. Now you're there. Those are the conversations we're talking about to eventually get around to an exposure. So we did 5 outreaches or 5 connections. We're starting 5 conversations. They may or may not get to your business or your product. Then you're going to move those conversations to be able to create 5 new exposures a day. Well, what's an exposure? An exposure could be something as simple as, hey, I saw you have some pain, or I saw you have a weight issue, or I saw you have a cosmetic issue, and I have something I'd love to share with you to take a look at. It could be your ingredients list. It could be your company video. Those are the exposures. So if we're doing 5 new outreaches a day and 5 new conversations a day, by the end of your first week, do some quick math of how many people have you started conversations with. Do that now for 30 days or 60 days. You're building a funnel and a pipeline of people that you're going to be able to talk to. I promise you, If I got on the phone with you for 3 minutes in a coaching session, okay, I could ask you 2 or 3 questions and I'll already know what your challenge is in growing your business. And usually if I ask you, and you could ask yourself this right now, the first question is this: how many people did you talk to today? Oh, well, my dog was sick, or my cat threw up, or my child had soccer practice. Okay, what about yesterday? With 5 over 5, you could diagnose your team anywhere in my downline that we all use 5 over 5. I could do a coaching for someone I've never met before and ask them how their 5 over 5 went yesterday. And I'll be able to determine why they can't collect 5 decisions a day. The next thing is, once you expose someone to your product, your video, your ingredients list, your company training call, your company opportunity call, you can do follow-ups. Now, I wanted to circle back. What more information do you need? I wanted to be able to get you our latest video. Hey, what did you think about the video? Whatever techniques you want to use, but make it conversational. Because then when you do this for at least 30 days, of steps 1, 2, 3, 4, you will be able to collect those decisions every single day because you're moving these people along. Now, these pots simmer at different temperatures, right? So you have to allow people to say, oh, I got ghosted. Okay, great. That could be good news because you're trying to find out people who have certain sets of social skills to be able to further your business. When people sort themselves out, let them. Let them sort themselves out for you. One of the techniques that I use every time I go to a restaurant is that I sit down at the bar, right, waiting for our table, Linda and I, and I'll sit down there and I'll try to start a conversation with the couple to my left, and I'll try to start a conversation with the couple to my right. If the guy to the left really just ignores me, I already know that this guy's not my kind of guy. Not only for my business, but socially. Now, if I go to the couple on the right, oh yeah, we come here every Wednesday, and oh, we've seen you guys here before, and you start that conversation, this guy has the potential and the skill set. He's not a lead yet, right? He's just a conversation. Keep the conversation going till you move to exposure. Exposures will lead to follow-ups, and then the follow-ups will lead to decisions. So here's the most important step, and it's the easiest one. Step 1. I need you to start reaching out to people and making new connections today and pile them up like a mountain. Pile them up like a mountain of people that you're going to be able to start conversations with. Angel, I hope that helped. I really love what you're doing on DMO. If I could have one more second, if that's okay. Oh, my daughter's running behind me. It's okay, sweetheart. We're under construction. I got my daughter's bedroom. We're putting in a loft hanging from the ceiling for my granddaughter to go up and play and look over. And the roof is literally off the front of my house right now.
My goodness.
Okay. So one more, can I have a minute?
Yes, go for it.
Okay. So when we think about our DMO, right, you got to think about what a DMO is going to do for you. And the biggest thing is it's going to be stress relief to you. When you have a fixed daily method of operation, the stress comes off you. Yeah, that's true, Victor. I'm sorry. I got to think. Victor and I we go way back. So, and by the way, guys, this is what network marketing should be. It should be relaxed. It should be fun. You shouldn't be full of anxiety. Listen, trust me, we're running hard. I see a lot of people in my organization here. We're running really hard, but we got to enjoy it. So stress reduction is probably one of the biggest benefits you'll get from DMO. Right? Professionalism. When you follow a simple system, you look more professional. Right? Think about it. Consistency. Most of you lack consistency. I lack consistency. I got notes here that I wrote that I was going to talk about. I'll never get to them on this call. But isn't that great? Isn't that great to have so much content available to you that you don't even get to it? Your lead should be the same way. You will be doing 5 over 5 properly when you forget to follow up with someone who said yes. Imagine that. Imagine getting to the point where your DMO is so productive that you forget, oh my God, I had a guy that I got back to on Messenger, right? Like 3 months later. And when I finally got back to him, he's like, forget about it, pal. You know, like he was angry with me, but it was rewarding to not have to be sitting on an egg. Like, don't hatch one egg at a time. Don't sit like a chicken on one egg at a time, right? You want to think about you guys are probably not old enough to remember this, but the guys that spin plates, it used to be a stick like a fishing pole, and they'd spin a plate on it, and then they spin another one, and they have all these plates spinning. That's your DMO. It's having all of these plates spinning. And what's really weird is we get excited when a plate falls off. I need you to get excited when a plate falls off and smashes to the ground, and you just pick up another one and put it up and start the spinning all over it again. But make sure you have 10 or 15 plates spinning of conversations, of exposures, and of follow-ups, and I guarantee your business will explode. Thank you, Dr. Doug Firebaugh. I mean, Angel. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me a chance to speak to everyone today.
Thank you so much. You were fantastic, Paul, as usual. I appreciate you coming and joining me today at short notice and coming on and delivering just a knockout training. And we'll stop the share so everybody can see here. Excuse me, I've got a tickle in my throat. But that was just fantastic. And that, again, when we talk about the importance of plugging into Dr. Doug and plugging into this free Zoom, the fact that he offers this for free to anybody, the fact that all of your teams can be here, you can invite your friends, all of us have friends in network marketing. There should literally be hundreds, if not thousands of people on this Zoom for the value that's here all the time that Dr. Doug gives. And when Paul was talking, I'm thinking of another thing that Doug trains on, which is the pipeline, right? Filling that pipeline, everything that Paul was just saying about, having the spinning plates and everything, that's your pipeline. Continually stuffing it until it bursts. And knowing that every single time you're filling that pipeline with those first couple of steps, because you might look and go, well, how am I going to do all 5? Because if I'm just starting with the first 2, I can't do 3, 4, 5. That's okay. For the first week, for the first 2 weeks, for the first 3 weeks, just do number 1 and number 2. Just start really filling that pipeline so that then you're getting to the exposures, you're getting to the follow-ups, you're getting to the decisions. It takes those consistent steps. And again, when we talk about it being boring and simple, love you, Paul. Thank you so much. When we talk about it being boring and simple, it is. And you may be thinking, well, this is too simple and boring. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to continue to kind of, keep on doing the millions of different things I'm trying to do to build. And that's fine. But where will that get you in 30 days? Are you still going to be at the same place that you are now, or are you going to be consistently building? If that's working for you, then continue doing that. But if not, imagine if you had just done the simple 5 over 5 for the next 30 days. How many people would be in that pipeline? How many people would you be having conversations and exposures with? And you'll get better and better at it. And I know a lot of people here are seasoned professionals already, but we use this on our team to keep it simple. We keep these steps simple because we know that the person who's coming in, or the person who's restarting, or the person who's re-engaging, and the person who really just doesn't know, what do I need to do? They need to hear these simple steps because it keeps it really easy. And it's a simple checklist. And we hear it all the time. Oh my gosh, I checked off my list. I'm done for the day. Do you want to do more? Go for it. But if not, you've accomplished what is required to build a business in network marketing. So I know Paul's gone, but I really appreciated him coming on and sharing. He and Dr. Doug, he got incredible coaching with Dr. Doug. I saw him just, explode from working with Dr. Doug. And so we do miss Dr. Doug here today, but I hope that you guys got some value from this. Victor, what is your takeaway from today?
Just a couple of things. I love, number one, what you were talking about, mindset and the belief in yourself, and and keeping the notes of the negative things you say to yourself, because our self-talk is what sabotages us. And I can tell you, I've struggled with it for years. One book that changed my life, and I've mentioned it in the past, is What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Dr. Shad Elmstetter. It is an awesome book. I highly recommend it. Get that. And you and Paul were talking about consistency. Here's the thing. Here's what lack of consistency costs you. If you double a penny every day for 30 days, you have $5 million. If you double it every other day, you have $163.84. So it does cost you a lot. And it's more important to be consistent than intense. And consistency will be an intensity all the time. Sometimes we'll skip a few days and then say, I'm going to work 20 hours and just do everything. Better to work 1 or 2 hours and then do the 5 over 5 that Angel was talking about and Paul was talking about. Do that consistently. You'll have a lot of people in the pipeline. And one last thing I just want to say, we worry about selling, worry about rejection. There is no such thing as, because we think if we get rejected, we lose something. We don't. Here's the thing. I'll bring up food again. If I ask a girl to have dinner with me, if she says yes, I have someone to have dinner with. If she says no, I had no one before to have dinner with, and I still have no one to have dinner with. I did not lose anything. Nothing changed. The same thing in your business. If I ask someone to join me, if they say yes, I have a new person in my organization. If they say no, I had no one in my organization before to say no, and nothing has changed. The problem only arises when we say to ourselves, my mom was right, I would never amount to anything. So remember, you never lose. You can only gain by asking someone and asking for a decision. Back to you, Angel. Thanks again. Great job by you and Paul today.
Oh, that was amazing, Victor. Thank you for just coming in and just knocking it out there. That was awesome. I love thinking of it that way. It's no different. And that's perfect. Now, I don't know who would say no to going to dinner with Victor. I'm coming. Awesome. Well, we have 5 more minutes here, guys. I do have a hard stop at 1:45. Whitney, what is your takeaway today, if you can open up?
Yeah, I am definitely taking that line from Paul about don't sit like a chicken on only one egg at a time. Like that's such a good visual and I love it. And I talk a lot about, having lots of baskets and lots of eggs and lots of income streams flowing into your, bucket.
Yeah.
And I love that new visual so much. And what Victor just said about doubling the penny every day versus every other day in that time frame, that kind of blows my mind. And again, is just such a huge thing for consistency. Wow. Thank you.
That is huge. Absolutely. Donna, what's your takeaway for today? I won't be able to get to everybody today, guys, unfortunately, but I'll go through here a few people.
Hello. I really like when you were talking about the sales team and embracing that. I think sometimes we just use this as like a little hobby, I guess I was using this as a little hobby, but now I have committed to be all in. And now that I am a professional network marketer with this company, like when I went to school to become a nurse, I didn't just like become half a nurse. I went all in to do the best that I possibly could. So going all in and really helping others see me that way. And then the people that I bring in, as we go through, that interview process of who we want to work with, are they going to be all in? Do they know this is sales? This is the honest thing. Why should we skirt around it? Right? That's like not being our authentic self. So just showing up.
I love that. And it was Dr. Doug 2 years ago used to always train on the fact that it's very much like a real estate broker. A real estate broker, works for their brokerage. Their brokerage makes a commission off of everything that real estate broker does. Some real estate brokers go out and build a team to help them sell homes. They make a part of what their team does, right? It's no different than what we do, but it's got the stigma attached to it, which is the problem. And that's why delivering and knowing the benefits and value of your products is so important. Mary Kay, what's your takeaway today? Oh, did you just disappear?
I was just skipping out, but I'll answer now. There's so many, and I just really love being on here. You did superb. It was just right on you had me on the edge of my seat the whole time, even though I've heard most of this before. You brought it with an energy that really brought me there. I think the one thing that stuck out to me is know what strategies motivate you. Know what really keeps you. Yeah, the 5/5 is great. But if there's one little thing that is your own reward and you really enjoy that, keep that in there. But keep doing everything else because we need to make it individual to ourselves. And I agree with Whitney. Being raised on a farm, sitting on only one egg at a time, that is a great visual. But Paul did wonderful. You guys are all so good. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you.
We appreciate you. Thank you so much, Mary Kay, for that. And it's so true. And, I was trained once too by someone else. He had said, do something out of the ordinary. So if you only go to the movies at nighttime, and Donna and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, if you only go to the movies at nighttime, but you expect that you're going to be this work from home entrepreneur who's creating success and an abundant life and a life of freedom, what if you packed up and went to the movies at noon or 1 o'clock in the day? It's going to feel weird. It's going to feel like you shouldn't, but do things that you would do if you already had everything that you have. And, maybe you haven't got your nails done. Maybe you're a guy and you like to go to a sports game, whatever it is. Maybe you're not treating yourself in some way. Do those little things that you would do if you could. And that tricks your mind into also being like, I'm allowed to live like this, right? So that's huge. Amanda, I'm going to end it with you. If you can open up, what's your takeaway for today?
My goodness, this was so good. I can't wait to get it and translate it in Spanish and share it. I mean, I think everything was amazing. Cultivate, embracing rejection as a stepping stone. That is key. How no's build you. And they're like, I even heard Dr. Doug once say it's like personal training to you, like it's building you, it builds your zero. So I like that. And it's like a reminder, embrace the rejection. Also overcoming the fear of selling, being consistent and disciplined. And I had never heard about the 5-5. I've heard about DMO, but I never visualized it the way that you guys shared it today. So it's super good because it's like you said, I'm a mom of 3, so I'm very, I'm like doing multiple things. But as long as, like you said, as long as I do that, I mean, of course we can always do more, but adding that is like you're checking it off your list and like finding the time to be like, okay, this is my moment to do this. I scratch that off the list. If I have time, we add more. But that was a nice pattern, a nice way to get everything done. So thank you so much for pouring into us. And I really appreciate it. I learned a lot, and I will definitely share this and implement it as well. First and foremost, I implement it and then I share. So thank you.
I love that. And thank you so much. And it's my pleasure to be here and be allowed to train and have Dr. Doug ask me to be here. But I see you on your social media, and congratulations on your success and on your courses and doing your courses in Spanish. You're doing amazing. So it's so cool to see you accomplishing that. So congratulations. All right, guys. Well, God bless you. Prayers to Dr. Doug for a quick recovery, that he will be back here next week. And I appreciate you guys. I learned from you guys so much and just appreciate this mastermind. And again, let's support Dr. Doug by making sure to share this next Friday, noonzoom.com. You guys go have a blessed, amazing weekend, and we'll see you next week. Take care.